Greetings and welcome to Lecture 4.5, Multiplication with Polynomials. Here's our rule when we multiply polynomials. Multiply any two polynomials, we multiply each term in the first polynomial with each term in the second polynomial. So let's multiply 3x squared and 2x squared plus 4x plus 5. When I multiply, I'm going to distribute the 3x squared to each term of my polynomial. So 3x squared is going to multiply 2x squared and 4x squared and 5x, giving me 3x squared times 2x plus 3x squared times 4x plus 3x squared times 5. Multiply all the coefficients together, all the x's together. So 3 times 2 times x squared times x squared plus 3 times 4 times x squared times x plus 3 times 5 times x squared, giving me 6x to the 2 plus 2. Remember, we add exponents when we multiply variables with exponents, we add the exponents together. Plus 12x to the 2 plus 1 plus 15x squared. Now the last thing I just need to do is to do this little addition of the exponents. So my final answer is going to be 6x to the 4th, 12 plus 12x cubed plus 15x squared. Let's try a little bit more complicated problem. Let's do two binomials, 3x minus 5 multiplied by 2x minus 1. Now remember, I have to multiply each term in each polynomial with each other, okay? So anything in the first polynomial, I need to multiply each of those terms with the second polynomial. So 3x is going to multiply to 2x. Negative 5 is going to multiply to 2x. That takes care of everything to the 2x. 3x times negative 1 and negative 5 times negative 1, giving me 3x times 2x plus negative 5 times 2x plus 3x times negative 1 plus negative 5 times negative 1. Combining all coefficients and all variables, 3 times 2 times x plus negative 5 times 2 times x plus 3 times negative 1 times x plus negative 5 times negative 1. Now I'm going to do as much math as I can. So 3 times 2 is 6. X times x is really x to the 1 plus 1 plus negative 10x plus negative 3x, that's the 3 times negative 1, plus 5, because negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. That gives me, add like terms, do the math for the exponents, 6x squared minus 13x plus 5. How I multiply the two binomials, I can get lost very easily. What did I multiply what? What do I have remaining? So we do have a process. We actually have two processes. I'm going to show you the first one and then the second one. The first one is the FOIL method. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. So the FOIL method, first, outer, inner, last. So what we do is take the first terms of each of the binomials, or each of the polynomials, and I multiply them together. So that would be my 6x squared. Then I take the outer terms, which would be the first term in the first binomial and the last term in the second binomial, and I multiply those. So I have 3x times negative 1. That gives me negative 3x. Then I take the inner two terms, which is negative 5 and 2x, multiply those together, giving me negative 10x. And then I take my very last terms. It's the last term in the first binomial and the last term in my second binomial, which is negative 5 times negative 1, which is positive 5. Now I add all of these up, combining like terms. So 6x squared minus 3x minus 10x plus 5. Now I know you heard me say add them up, but I did have negatives here, so I went ahead and did subtraction. Combine like terms, and I get 6x squared minus 13x plus 5. To me, having a standard way of doing each multiplication step and being able to remember what did I do and what did I not do, I think simplifies the situation. So take in consideration this FOIL method and see if you like it. Try it out a few times with lots of problems and see if it resonates with you. Using our new FOIL method, I'm going to do the multiplication of 2x plus 3 and 5x minus 4. So remember, first outer, inner, last, FOIL. So my first terms are 2x and 5x. I multiply those together. My next is my outer. That would be 2x and negative 4. Those are my outer. My inner are going to be 3 and 5x. And my last terms are 3 and negative 4. Now I do the multiplication. 2 times 5 is 10. X times x is x squared. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And I have the x, so negative 8x. 3 times 5x is going to be 15x. And 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Last thing to do is to combine any terms that I can, and I can combine the negative 8x and the positive 15x, giving me 10x squared plus 7x minus 12. Now I said there were two methods. Here's the second method, the column method. Very similar to multiplication, the long multiplication with whole numbers. So let's take that same, or a little bit different example, 2x plus 3 and 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. This time I have a trinomial and a binomial. So I'm going to set it up like long division. Okay, so not long division, long multiplication, regular multiplication. 3x squared minus 2x plus 1 multiplied by 2x plus 3. And just like what we would with a double-digit number, I'm going to take the first number and multiply to each term, take the second number and multiply it to each term. So here's my first. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times negative 2x is negative 6x. 3 times 3x squared is 9x squared. Now I leave a space because I don't have any quote-unquote constants or ones column. So I say 2x times 1 is positive 2x. 2x times negative 2x is negative 4x. I have an error there. Negative 4x. And then 2x times 3x squared is 6x cubed. Now I'm going to add those together. 3 plus 0 is plus 3. Negative 6x plus 2x is negative 4x. 9x squared minus 4x squared is 5x squared. And then 6x cubed is 6x cubed. Now, whether you like the FOIL method or if you like this new long multiplication method, the column method, is up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's try a few examples. This first example, I'm going to use the column method. So 2a squared minus 3a plus 5 times 4a squared. 4a squared times 5 is 20a squared, and that's positive. A squared times negative 3a is going to be negative 12a cubed. A squared, or 4a squared times 2a squared is going to be 8a to the 4th. So my final answer is 8a to the 4th minus 12a cubed plus 20a squared. It also depends on what the problem is, which one you might want to use. Maybe you just see this as distributing the 4a squared across. Let's try one more. This time, because it's two binomials, I'm actually going to use, pardon me, the FOIL method. So it's first x times y. The inner, or the O is outer, plus x times 3 plus the inners, which are negative 2 and y, negative 2 and y. And then my last is going to be negative 2 and 3. Negative 2 times 3. So x times y gives me xy, plus x times 3 is 3x, plus, or this case negative, negative 2y. And then negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. I have no like terms to combine, so I'm done. I'd like to have you try the FOIL method as well as the column method for x plus y times a minus b. So this is your class problem for this video. Again, both methods I need to see, both the FOIL method and the column method for x plus y times a minus b. For the last problem, I'll go ahead and work through, but I am going to use the column method because I think it's not used as much as you think it could be. Foiling is very popular, but sometimes the column method works really well. So I'm going to go ahead and use the column method. So 5x minus 1 times 2x plus 6. So the first step is I'm going to multiply 6 to everything. So 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. 6 times 5x is 30x. Now the next step. 2x times negative 1 is minus 2x. 2x times 5x is 10x squared. Now I add them together. Negative 6 plus 0 is negative 6. 30 minus 2x is plus 28x. And lastly, 10x squared. And that's my solution. Let's take an example of a word problem dealing with a rectangle. So the length of a rectangle is 3 more than twice the width. Write the expression for the area of the rectangle. So let's see. I don't know what the width is, so I'm going to mark that as x. And I'll just say the width is x. And I do know that the length of the rectangle is 3 more than twice the width. So twice the width plus 3 is going to be the length. So 2x plus 3. But the area is the length times the width. So that's just 2x plus 3 multiplied by x. Now I'm going to distribute the x back to the 2x plus 3. So x times 2x will be 2x squared, and x times 3 is plus 3x. That is my expression for this area of this triangle. Let's suppose that a store sells X items at P dollars per item. The total amount of money that we can obtain by selling the items is called revenue. Revenue is the number of items sold times the price of each item. In other words, R for revenue equals X times P, where remember X is the number of items and P is the dollar amount that we sell it at, or in other words, price. So here's a situation. A store is selling some DVDs, and it knows from past experience it can sell X number of DVDs each day at the price of P dollars per DVD. According to their equation, X equals 800 minus 100P, we're going to write a formula for the daily revenue. Then we want to know that only involves R's and P's for our formula. So here's our situation. R equals X times P, that we got from our original equation of revenue. We do know that X equals 800 minus 100P. We're going to plug it into the equation, and then we're going to distribute the P. So R is going to equal 800P minus 100P squared. That's it for this lecture, so until next time, be safe.